everyone, and welcome to Shelf Space. I'm your host, Roz13, and today we are looking at the SD Gundam G Generation F Guntank. Yep, this is another SD Gundam, and I saw this one not too long ago and thought it looked really fun, so I picked it up and now I want to show it off to you guys. But first, let's take a look at the box. So, similar to what we saw on the Xeon SD that we reviewed not too long ago, the Guntank here is, the box is set up like a old school master grade box. When I say old school, and at the time this was originally released, it would have been contemporary. It even uses the same font and the same sort of general art style, it's just SD. Though the master grade had the name going along the side as opposed to the top. Anyway, up here we got RX-75 Guntank, and then I'm guessing this says Guntank in Japanese. We have SD Gundam G Generation F, which was a SD Gundam game, I believe. We got this cool illustration. You can also just barely make out the pilot in the cockpit there. Down at the bottom here we have Bandai Spirits 2001. So yeah, this is definitely an older kit. And we have a blue Bandai logo instead of the red one that would have come on this, because this is a reissue. Now, on this side, we have the same illustration as before. Same other information, though we do have a thing that says, I'm guessing this is like BB Senshi 221. So showing that this is part of the sort of greater SD Gundam line in general. Then on this side, again, similar to what we see in old school master grades, we have painted photographs of what this kit looks like and what it can do. You can even see that's calling out that it does have a little character in the cockpit. But yeah, the red text on the white background with this sort of blue background photographs, this is very, very much old school master grades, and I dig that. And this is really cute. I wish I had a compatible Grandpa SD to do this with, because this looks like it's goofy fun. This side is same as the other, and then over here we have all the usual warning information and stuff. And once again, they have removed the yen price and left it off-centered. It's not that hard, Bandai. Anyway, that's the box. Let's take a look at this little guy just himself. And here he is, and this guy is kind of adorable. I think I love it. I should note that I went ahead and did some panel lining on this just to make the details pop a little bit more. But overall, I think it looks pretty decent, particularly since it's an old SD kit. As you can see, there's sort of a semblance of a pilot in there, but it's very low detail. If I ever have the time and drive, I'll probably go in and paint that. But for right now, I'm going to leave it like this. But yeah, not too bad. There are definitely artifacts of how old it is. The cannons are basically two halves that are put together with little caps at the end. So you do have kind of nasty seam lines going down the middle. Same with the way they did the shoulders. And articulation is kind of limited, but it's also an SD Guntank. You're not getting this for a super articulated figure. But let's go ahead and take a look at it more closely anyway. So on the head, you can rotate things around a little bit, but the cannons on either side are going to restrict it. You can sort of nod a little bit if you want. The cannons can go up and down about this far. You can also tilt them in different directions for, I guess, finer control in firing. The shoulders are basically just a post going into a poly cap inside the shoulder, allowing for fairly decent range, all things considered. This part does interfere with things. Then you got a single jointed elbow with not even 90-degree bend, but that's kind of to be expected with the way they designed this. You can rotate the waist, but the sort of exhaust things will bump into the tread, so you can't get it fully rotating around. But you can, you know, pull it out apart completely. There technically even is a little bit of rotation for sort of like an ab crunch. The treads are just solid plastic stationary. They did actually mold in detail at the bottom, which is kind of impressive. There's no wheels or anything like that, but I think someday I'm going to mod this guy with like a pullback motor from a like a Hot Wheels car of some sort, and make it so that this thing can like pull back and then move around. I almost thought about doing that before this review, but I wanted to go ahead and get it out. But even the way this thing is assembled, I think you could do that fairly easily, because this bottom plate here is just a plate that goes on and can probably relatively easily be taken apart and either just leave it off, or you cut holes for wheels or something. I think it would be a fun modification to do. I'll post something if I end up doing that. And that's really it for what it does. The box did show that you can, you know, take this apart and attach it onto the corresponding Grandpa Gundam, probably even a gun cannon if they made one around this time too, which if they made the Grandpa and the Guntank, I'm certain they made a gun cannon as well. But yeah, it's a fun little build. Is it the best thing in the entire world? No. But it's an old SD Gundam, and color-wise, it looks pretty good. You got yellow bits for the stickers there, but it's fine. It is fine for what it is, and is pretty much exactly what I was expecting and what I was wanting. Let's go ahead and do some quick comparisons before we wrap everything up. Alright, so let's start with, since you're closer, here it is next to a SD Ground Gundam from the Cross Silhouette line, and this guy has the full Cross Silhouette booster, which makes him pretty tall. Next up, we have the Star Gundam. Or sorry, the Winning Gundam. So a little bit closer in size, but this guy's still a little bit bulkier. Here it is next to the God Maru Gundam. Here it is next to the Sokudu Soketsuden, or however that's pronounced, 00. And since we were talking about before, here it is next to the Perfect Zeong. So yeah, this was a fun, quick little build, and you know what? I would recommend this to people. It's too fun to be mad at. So yeah, that's been a review. Thank you very much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, all that fun YouTube stuff. Check the description below for links to my storefront where you can get official shelf space t-shirts and more. And yeah, thank you again, and I'll see you the next time you invade.
Something is coming, and I won't be here to stop it.